I don't know about you guys, but 2023 felt like the Bronx Country Club last year at Yankee Stadium. This year so far feels like the Bronx Zoo, and that's exactly where we need it to be. All right, happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're getting ready for a good weekend. The Yankees play tonight, 6:30. I'll have the lineup later on for you, but I wanted to go over this. I was listening to Rob and Donald from Pinstripe Chronicles this morning, and, it was something I wanted to talk about for a while. But I was glad that they brought up some of the stuff, and they had a great conversation. We're talking about how 2024 has a different vibe than 2023, and this is something we've been talking about for a little while now. And now that we've gotten a chance to see the whole team in action, you can really see. And again, I want to credit to all the guys last year. Okay, Willie Calhoun, Jake Bowers, Billy McKinney, Franchi Cordero, all the guys that came here did their part. Thank you for representing the Yankees well. This year, it looks like they brought in different personnel. Well, they did bring in personnel that probably better fits the needs that they have moving forward than those other guys. And this is not to take away anything away from what those guys did last year. I was happy to have them, but they have a team that's better suited towards what they need to do now. Okay, they replace those guys with Juan Soto, Alex Verdugo, and Trent Grisham, Marcus Stroman. Like, there's a lot more different vibe here. And the one reason I bring up Pinstripe Chronicles, it's guys like them. There's a reason why I watch them. Tats, you put together a great team over there. Reason why I watch them religiously, and Hector from Yankees the Morning Brew Sports, and Joey from The Shift, and Jim Riley from Ball Cap Sports, and NFE from The Strike Zone, and Mike Mazza from More Train Express, because you guys carry yourselves like pros, like mature adults, right? You set an example for the young guys like Hillel from Backstage Media, Backstage Baseball, and Yankees War Room. Young kids that are doing a good job and up and coming, and they look up to some of the older guys, see how they carry themselves. Okay, and these kids you guys set a great example, and I thank you for that. And it ties into the Yankees because the Yankees have they got good veterans here too. Anthony Rizzo, DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys were not healthy last year and unable to contribute. Okay, but they've rubbed off on some of these younger guys like Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells and some of the younger kids. The way that they carry themselves like adults, like mature players, like pros. I give them a lot of credit for it. And even though they tried to compensate in a way where when they lost, because we lost Judge for 60 games, Stanton for 60 games, right? We lost Carlos Rodon and Nestor Cortes for about 3 months each for health issues, right? Injury issues. So, and these guys tried to make up in certain areas. And that's why you saw, and you could also see the difference between Dylan Lawson and Sean Casey was a different approach. Okay. We saw more launch angle and guys try to compensate, hit more home runs at the expense of a lot of strikeouts. Okay. Whereas now, and even more so during Sean Casey, he brought in a little bit more of he has a lot more major league experience as a contact hitter from the lefty side. You saw the veterans kind of respond better to his approach. Aaron Judge, when he came back, DJ LeMahieu kind of found himself again. So, but those guys rubbed off on the youngsters like Aaron, like Volpe and Wells and some of them. That's why you're seeing guys like Will Warren right now attach themselves to veterans like Louisiana Lightning, Lou Gehrig and KEMP. Okay. They're attaching themselves to these veterans who bring a lot of insight and a lot of perspective. This is why I watch these channels, because you guys bring a lot of insight and perspective, and you carry yourselves like adults. And I appreciate that so much. Okay. So that's credit to you guys. And again, this is where this team feels a lot different now. Last year, we felt like it was a lot of a lackadaisical approach, right? A lackluster approach. And I felt like this Aaron Boone and some of the other coaches were not on the same page. And that kind of filtered out to the players. And it felt like sometimes that they weren't serious about winning. They just didn't care. And it drew a lot of frustration from a lot of fans. Okay. Rightfully so. Whereas now they've got a different energy here, a different vibe, a different swag. They got dog, man. Juan Soto, to me, I call him Ted Bonds, okay, or Barry Williams, because to me he's got that contact and plate discipline of a Ted Williams and the power of a Barry Bonds. He's like the hybrid between the two. And I use the same hybrid, talking point or mentality with when I talk about James Rosen, the new hitting coach, because he's a combination of Sean Casey and Dylan Lawson. okay? And he's been there for a couple months now with Aaron Judge and the boys in Florida hitting in the cages, Gleyber Torres, Oswaldo Cabrera. And you could see the different approach in a lot of these guys, even Giancarlo Stanton. These guys have made stance adjustments, posture adjustments, and their swings are more level and less uppercutty. So these are the types of things that we needed to see that we're seeing. Okay, and the vibe. These guys have a chip on their shoulder. A lot of guys are pissed off. They want to prove the doubters wrong. They're hungry, right? That's exactly what we need to be. That's the Bronx Zoo, not the Bronx Country Club. Okay, and I cannot stress how much I appreciate that. And I want to continue to talk about this, okay? And I want to know what your folks are. So, what you folks think. So, if you're not subbed to this channel, please hit that sub button before you leave, and hit the like button if you enjoy the content, okay? And there's still a lot of players that are unsigned, and I'll put out that news as well. So make sure you hit the notification button too if you subscribe, so that you're always in front of the line, one of the first people to get the news, okay? And I thank you so much for that. Really, your support means the world, okay? We're gonna try to hit 30,000 subs this year if we can, and we're gonna try our darndest to get there. Your help means the world. So, but this is, I don't know if you're noticing this, but 2024 feels a hell of a lot different than 2023. And I wanted to point that out. It really, really, really is important to see. As a fan, as a content creator, you know, we kind of live and die with our Yankees. We play mock GM a lot. We always try to think about ways and converse with other people about ways to make this team better, okay, in a constructive manner. And that's what we try to do. And because we love our team, we want it to, you know, we're happy when the Yankees are playing well. We're not when they're not. So that's just the nature of a diehard Yankee fan. Okay. But this, like I said, the vibe on this team, the energy in this team, the swag. You brought in Dog with Marcus Stroman. You brought swag and attitude with Alex Verdugo. Like, you got the right guys here. These guys represent the fits that the Yankees needed, that they didn't have last couple of years. Okay, and I've criticized the team sometimes of being too buttoned up as well and less personable. Now they're more relatable, right? They're more personable. They're less buttoned up. You can see it's a looser vibe in spring training. They're having fun again, but at the same time, they're laser focused on the job. You know, even Giancarlo Stanton said the other day, "I'm not here to be a stand-up guy. I'm here to help the team win a championship." That's exactly the type of attitude, and he's carried himself like a pro since day one. Okay, day one, asking the hard questions, even when he's playing bad. So that's the type of pro, mature adult, the leader that we need here. And you got Garrett Cole on the pitching side, the vocal leader of the team as well, bringing not only experience, attitude, elite pitching ability. Okay, he's elevating his pitching teammates. Okay, on the starting side. Okay, and yeah, we've added to the rotation. Okay, and there's still a chance they might add another pitcher at some point. But we've got two healthy guys coming back now, Nestor Cortez and Carlos Rodon. If they're healthy and we get, you know, the Marcus Stroman that we're used to, this rotation's a heck of a lot better. And the guys we have coming up, Adam Warren, Chase Hampton, and Clayton Beater, who pitched great yesterday, we have a lot of things to look forward to. And again, these guys are setting a great example at the top, the veterans. And now we have veterans here that are healthy and setting the right example and actually able to play on the field again. Okay, we love the example that they set when they're not playing, but we need them to play too. DJ's got 3 years left. Rizzo's got a year left, right? So Stanton's got 3 or 4 years left too. We need these guys, okay, and need them to not only help mentor the young kids, but to produce. Okay, they're being paid a lot of money to play here. We need them to play well, and we hope that they do. But the fact is, the Yankees have enough depth now so that if somehow an injury presents itself, and I like the fact that the Yankees are taking their time now. Now I'll point out two things. One, they acknowledged instantly, and I always said this before. They acknowledged the issues that they had this last year. They acknowledged it was a disaster and the issues that they needed to address, and they addressed them immediately in the offseason. Didn't not waste a minute. They addressed the offensive lack of production, the lack of left-handed bats, lack of contact, and they brought in 3 immediately. And they've added to the bench. They've added to the infield, to the outfield, to the bullpen. Okay. They fortified every area, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, it doesn't really matter whether they finish in the division top, the top of the division, or in the wild card. The 2 World Series teams last year, the Rangers, Diamondbacks, both wild card teams, okay? You get in the playoffs, anything can happen, okay? Hot teams can stay hot. Cold team can stay cold, right? Hot teams can get cold. Cold teams can get hot. It just happens, okay? And not handing the Dodgers the world championship just because they made some flashy moves, okay? And they addressed their needs just like the Yankees addressed theirs. Just like last year, the Braves were the overwhelming favorite. They didn't even get deep into the playoffs. The Mets were one of the favorites to win the World Series. They didn't even make the playoffs. Okay. So this stuff happens on a regular basis. This is baseball, the nature of the sport. And it's a long season, 162 games, and we need guys to be healthy. We need guys clicking on all cylinders. And the way that it looks like right now is that the Yankees have the right guys to help keep the team healthy, to help the team clicking on all cylinders as well. Okay, and it sounds like they have the right brain trust around these guys. I like the Brad Ausmus addition too because he reminds me of a young Larry Boa, bringing that fire to get into players' faces if they need to. Okay, to complement Aaron Boone's Zen approach, and I don't think he's going to have to get in a lot of players' faces this year because these guys look remarkably focused and just dialed in on everything. Dialed in. So, but I want to know what your thoughts are. Okay, do you see this? Or am I the only one seeing it? Does feel like a great I have a really good feeling about this team, but again, we need them to stay healthy. We need them to produce. Okay, and it's easier said than done. Okay, so give me your thoughts one way or the other. Have a great day. Talk to you later.